Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss some finer points of the basics in case of thermodynamics. Now, in case of thermodynamics, what we are observed that the internal energy of a thermodynamic system is the energy contained within it. I am repeating once more. The internal energy of a thermodynamic system is the energy contained within it. It is the energy necessary to prepare the system in any given internal state. We already discussed that. The value of delta U, that is the change in internal energy. Okay. Now today we are going to look at the various theoretical aspect of that. It does not include the kinetic energy of the motion of the system as a whole, nor the potential energy of the system as a whole due to external force field, including the energy of displacement of the surrounding. It keeps account of the gain and loss of the energy of the system that are due to the change in its internal state. The internal energy is measured as a difference from a reference zero defined as the standard state. The difference determined by a thermodynamic process that carry of the system between the reference scale and the current state of the interest. So it becomes an extensive properties. It cannot be measured directly. The thermodynamic process that define the internal energy are the transfer of matter or the energy as heat or as thermodynamic work. These processes are measured by change in the system's extensive variable such as entropy, volume, chemical composition. It is often not necessary to consider all of the system's intrinsic energy. For example, the static rest mass of its constituent matter. When matter transfer is prevented by an impermeable containing walls, the system is said to be closed. I am repeating once more. When the matter transfer is prevented by impermeable containing walls, the system is said to be closed. And the first law of the thermodynamics defines the change in internal energy as the difference between the energy added to the system as heat and the thermodynamic work done by the system. Delta U is equal to heat plus W, as we already know that. If the containing walls pass neither matter nor energy, the system is said to be isolated and internal energy does not change. So in that case, delta U will be equal to 0. The internal energy of the system is identified with the random disorder motion of the molecule. The total internal energy in a system includes potential and kinetic energy. This is in contrast to the external energy, which is a function of the sample with respect to the outside environment. Kinetic energy taken into consideration if the sample is moving, or potential energy if the sample is at height from the ground. The symbol of the internal energy is delta U, already mentioned. So the energy on a smaller scale, internal energy includes energy on a microscopic scale. It is a sum of all microscopic energies such as translational kinetic energy, vibrational and rotational kinetic energy, potential energy from the intermolecular forces. For example, if we take 1 gram of water at 0 degrees Celsius and it is compared with 1 gram of copper at 0 degrees Celsius, okay, they do not have the same internal energy, although amount is same 1 gram, 1 gram. Because even though their kinetic energies are equal and water has a much higher potential energy, so one can say that since the temperature is same and mass is same, so their kinetic energy is same, but water has much higher potential energy, causing its internal energy to be more than that of copper. So it means that although the amount and temperature is same, so kinetic energy can be the same, but the internal energy of the water would be more than that of the internal energy of the copper due to its high potential energy. Now, the internal energy, that is U of a system or a body with well defined boundaries, is the total of the kinetic energy due to the motion of the molecule and the potential energy associated with the vibrational motion and the electric energy of the atom within the molecule. So, internal energy also includes the energy of all the chemical bonds. So, from a macroscopic point of view, the internal energy may be defined as in many different forms for any given material, okay, or the repulsion, even the repulsion between the individual molecule also taken into consideration. The internal energy is a state function. It means its value depends upon initial and the final state of system, and it is an extensive quantity. One can have a corresponding intensive thermodynamic property called as specific internal energy. Okay, or you can say that molar internal energy, commonly symbolized as a small u, which is internal energy per mass, means per gram of substance. As such, SI unit of specific internal energy would be joules per gram. If the internal energy is expressed on an amount of substance basis, then it could be referred as molar internal energy, as I told you. And in that case, it will be joules per mole. So you can say that here delta U can be extensive, but molar internal energy can be intensive. That I already told you. Now you know that delta U can be heat plus work done. Okay, that is delta U plus heat plus. So it can be written as delta U plus del heat into del work, where Q is the heat and work is symbolized by W. For an isolated system, we cannot exchange heat or work. So for an isolated system, delta U will be 0. For will be 0. So you can say that energy is conserved. Surrounding and system, there would be what? There would be no change. So in case of what? In case of an isolated system, delta U system and delta U surrounding will remain same. Now the sign of the internal energy. The energy entering the system is positive, meaning heat is absorbed. Heat is greater than 0. Work is so done on the system. Okay, the work is done on the system. The energy leaving the system is negative, means heat is given off by the system. So work is done by the system. W will be less than 0. So work is done by the system, that is negative. Work is done on the system, that is positive. Okay, similarly, I already told you delta U of an isolated system is 0, because in that case delta U system is equal to negative of delta H system and energy is conserved. Now look at very important thing. A system contains only internal energy. A system does not contain energy in the form of heat and work. Heat and work only appears at boundary. Heat and work only exist during the change in the system. I am repeating once more. Heat and work only appears in boundary, and heat and work only exists during the change in the system. There would be no work at the end of this process. Okay. Internal energy is a state function. So memorize all these factors, very very important. Are you getting that or not? Okay, I am repeating once more. What is the factor? The factor is that system contains only internal energy. System does not contain energy in the form of heat and work. The heat and work only exist during the change in the system, and heat and work appears at the boundary of the system, and internal energy is a state function. Now look at the importance of the internal energy. The internal energy possessed by a substance differentiated from other substances. For example, the allotrope of carbon, mainly graphite and diamond, differ from each other because they possess different internal energy and have different structure. This is the reason that internal energy is also called as inherent energy, the energy that is inherited due to its structure, due to its atomic arrangement also. Now, so it is the energy inherited. So hidden energy, or it is more appropriate to call it an intrinsic energy. Characteristics of the characteristics of the internal energy of a system is an extensive property. We have discussed that it depends upon the amount of the substance present in the system. Okay, if the internal amount is doubled, energy is also doubled. Internal energy is a state function. It depends only upon the state variables, that is temperature, pressure, volume and amount of the substance taken. The change in the internal energy for a fixed amount of system is given by delta U is given by U2 at T2, P2, V2 minus U1, that is T1, P1, V1. So it is called as summation of step. It is called as what? Summation of the step. The change in internal energy does not depend upon the path on which the final state is reached. In a cyclic process, there is no energy change, so delta U cyclic is taken as 0. Okay, this is a symbol of cyclic integral. Now, method by which the energy of system can be changed, that is called internal energy change. Okay, the internal energy system can be changed by any of the following processes. The system undergo either a chemical change or a physical change. The heat is given to the system or heat is removed from the system. I am repeating once more. The system can undergo either a physical change or a chemical change. The heat is given to the system or heat is removed from the system. Work is done by the system, that is expansion, or work is done on the system, that is compression. Therefore, internal energy system is also defined as the capacity to do work. The concept of work in thermodynamics, the work is a result of action against an opposing force. It is equal to the force multiplied by the displacement. So it is what? Force multiplied by the displacement, where delta x is the path length over which the action is taken and F is the force against which the work has been done. If F is 0, then work done is also 0. So there is no opposing force. Then the motion itself cannot produce any work. If delta x is 0, work is also 0. Therefore, if there is no motion, even the strongest opposing force cannot generate any work. I am repeating once more. So if there is no motion, even the strongest opposing force cannot generate any work. Are you getting that? Mechanical work involving a gas. If a system, when gases are involved, mechanical work is equal to the pressure volume work. Okay, are you sure about that? We later on discuss that in length also. So you can say that work is equal to minus force into delta x. So divided and multiplied by the area, force by area becomes pressure, and A into delta x becomes volume changes. So we have to look at the thermodynamic definition of the work. Okay, you have to look at what? We have to look at the thermodynamic definition of the work. positive work is done by a system when the sole effect external to the system could be reduced to the rise in the weight. Thermodynamic definition of heat: it is the energy in transition, okay, between the system and the surrounding by virtue of the difference in temperature. So here could be what the definition of work can be what the rise or fall in the height or the displacement that is happening either in case of charge or gases. So you can say that types of work interactions are those like expansion and compression work, that is also called as displacement work. Work in case of a reversible chemical cell, so in that case you can say that now a chemical reaction produces an electric current, so electric work done, that is equal to electric work done will be equal to the value that is called voltage into charge, okay, charge into voltage means that, so you can say potential difference into charge becomes equal to the electric work done. Work in a stressed of a liquid surface, so when a liquid surface has been stressed, better known as surface forces. Work done on the elastic solids, the work of polarization and magnetism. So all these works are different types of works that can be performed. Now we already discussed that displacement work will be equal to the pressure volume work, that is P into delta V. The force will be pressure into area, so what will be what P delta V. Remember that pressure will be in what? Pressure will be in atmospheric and volume will be in liter, so work done unit will be liter atmospheric. Now remember that 1 liter atmospheric is equal to 101.3 joules, okay, that we have already discussed in gaseous state, that how different units of R can be taken into account, okay. So if the piston moves through a finite distance, okay, then work done can be evaluated by the integration of P delta V. Second, the stretching of a wire. If a wire stretched by a length change dl, change in length, due to application of a force, then work is done on system, it is given by work done will be minus force applied into change in the length. Electric work done, I told you, flowing in or out of the charge is always deemed to be work, okay, that will be what everyone charge into voltage, sure about that, and charge can be I into T, okay, so variable term here will be delta T, that how much current and for what amount time the current has been flowing there. The work done due to stretching of a liquid film due to the surface tension. So let us say that soap film is stretched through an area, that is dA. So work done in that case will be minus sigma dA, where sigma is called the surface tension of that particular liquid. Now after the concept of the work, let's look at the concept of heat in case of thermodynamics. The change in the internal energy of the system due to difference in the temperature of the system and the surrounding is called heat. The symbol of the heat is Q. Heat flows from higher temperature towards lower temperature. The energy of the system increases when it is brought into contact with the surrounding, which is it at a height at high temperature. On the other hand, when the temperature system is higher than that of the surrounding, the heat flows from the system to the surrounding. So remember that always the heat always flows from the higher temperature or lower temperature in a spontaneous natural manner. When the heat is absorbed by the system, its energy increases, so delta U will be positive. This is called endothermic. When the heat is given out by the system, its energy, that is internally decreases. So delta U can be negative. Such a reaction is called, or such a change is called exothermic. Remember that. What are the characteristics of the heat? A system does not possess any heat, it possesses only energy. I am repeating once more. A system does not possess any heat, it possesses only energy. The concept of heat comes into picture across the boundary during the change only. I am repeating, the concept of heat and work both comes into picture across the boundary only during the change, when the system undergoing a change. Now, what are the various characteristics of heat? A system does not possess any heat, it possesses only energy. The concept of heat comes into picture across the boundary during the changes only. There is no difference of temperature between the system and the surrounding, there is no flow of heat. Okay, repeating once more, if there is no difference in temperature between system and surrounding, there will be no flow of the heat. The heat is a path dependent quantity. The heat is a manifestation of the energy. When heat flows into the system, its energy increases. When the heat flows out, its energy decreases. So sign convention of heat will be that the heat is taken as positive when the heat is absorbed by the system. The heat is taken as negative when the heat is given out by the system. So in the first case, when the heat has a positive value, the change is endothermic. When the heat is a negative value, the change is called as exothermic change. Let's look at one example. If written that heat is equal to plus 200, it means 200 kilojoule of heat is being absorbed by the system. Heat is equal to minus 300, it means 300 kilojoule is given out by the system. So what is the net evaluation? The heat is not a material or a fluid. A system does not possess heat and work. Heat and work only appears during the change in the system and only appears at boundary. When it is stated that heat flows, it means the energy is exchanged between the system and surrounding due to temperature differences. When it is stated that mechanical work is done, it means energy is exchanged between due to the pressure gradient between the system and the surrounding. If P external greater than P internal, then there will be compression. If P internal greater than P external, then there will be expansion. In reality, the heat and work are manifestation of the energy. Units of heat and work, I have told you, you have to convert it into joules and then divide by 1000 to make into kilojoules. Okay, so SI unit of heat and work is either joule or kilojoule. Okay, and in case of delta U, the value should be reported in what? The value should be reported in either kilojoule per mole. In case of work also it should be in joules or kilojoule. In case of heat also should be joules or in kilojoules. Now look at the molecule picture of the flow of heat or exchange of heat. The internal energy, that is delta U of the system, can be changed by supplying heat to the system or by removing heat from the system. So if you remove it from the system, Q should be negative, and if you add it to the system, then it should be positive. The energy of the system increases when it is brought in contact with the surrounding, which is at a higher temperature. I am repeating once more. The energy of the system increases when it is brought in contact with the surrounding, which is at higher temperatures. What will happen? Heat will flow from the surrounding to the system. In this case, the heat energy flows from the surrounding to the system because of the difference in temperature. The flow of the heat from the surrounding to the system continues to flow until both will attain the same temperature. The exchange of the heat between the system and the surrounding is due to the collision of the molecule on the wall of the system. I am repeating once more. The exchange of the heat between the system and surrounding is due to the collision of the molecule on the wall of the system. The molecule in the surrounding have more energy because they are at higher temperature. So when these high energetic molecule they hit the boundary, they transfer their energy which is transmitted to the system. This causes an increase in the internal energy of the system. When the temperature of the system is higher, its molecule hit the boundary and transfer their energy to the surrounding. So the heat flows from the system surrounding and the internal energy of the system decreases. The law of thermal equilibrium is called zeroth law of thermodynamics. This law states that if two systems A and B, which are separated in a thermal equilibrium with the third system C, then A and B will also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. Okay, so means A and B are two different systems and they are in equilibrium with system C. Then what will happen after some time? A and B will always become in equilibrium. So if A is equal to C, thermal equilibrium between A and C, and B equal to C, thermal equilibrium between B and C, then A and B should also be in equilibrium. Are you getting that? So zeroth law of thermodynamics forms the basis of measurement of temperature of system by thermometer. When a thermometer is brought in contact with the system, both attain thermal equilibrium. Thus, the thermometer records a constant temperature of all the systems, that is A, B and C. First law of thermodynamics, we have already discussed that delta U is equal to Q plus W, that is first law of thermodynamics. And you can easily observe that internal energy depends upon that whether you add heat to the system or you withdraw heat from the system, or the system performed a work, or work is performed on the system. And in addition to that, whether some matter is being added or being removed from the system. So all these will give you a fair idea of the first law of thermodynamics, that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, and if it disappears in one form, it must reappear in some other equivalent form. Okay, so this is already known to you. Now, statement of the first law of thermodynamics states that what? That delta U is equal to Q plus W. So delta U is the change in the internal energy in the system, that is U final minus U initial. Heat absorbed the system given by plus symbol. Work done on the system is also given by the plus system. Now look at a very important picture, that is in thermodynamics, the work performed by the system is the energy transferred by the system to its the surrounding by a mechanism through which the system can spontaneously exert macroscopic force on its surrounding, where those force and their external effect can be measured. I am repeating once more that work performed by a system is energy transferred by the system, and that transfer of energy in the form of P delta V can be measured. So in the surrounding, through the suitable positive linkages, the whole of the work done by such a force can lift a weight. So just through such mechanism, energy can be transferred from surrounding the system in a sign convention used in chemistry, negative. Such energy transfer is counted as negative amount of work by the system surrounding. So work done on the system, I am repeating once more, work done on the system is taken positive. Work done by the system taken as negative. Are you okay with that or not? Are you sure? Now what will happen again here? The externally measured force and externally effects may be electromagnetic, gravitational or pressure volume or other macroscopic mechanical variable. I am repeating once more. The externally measured forces and external effect may be electromagnetic radiation, gravitational push or pull, pressure volume in case of gases, or other macroscopic mechanical stress and strain or polarization like that. For thermodynamic work, these external measured quantities are exactly matched by the value of a contribution to a change in macroscopic internal state variable of the system, which always occur in conjugate pair. For example, pressure and volume, magnetic flux and magnetism. Okay, so pressure and volume inversely related, magnetic flux density and magnetism inversely related. Okay, charge and voltage. So these are what? These are all conjugate pairs. What they are? Conjugate pairs. So this will give you what? Work done values. Beside the transfer of energy as work, thermodynamics admit transfer of energy as heat also. For a process in a closed, no transfer of matter thermodynamic system, the first law of thermodynamics relates changes in the internal energy. Okay, are you sure about that? For example, all temperature changes need not to be due to heat alone. Friction. So in friction what happens? Temperature increases, but what? Not due to heat but due to friction. All heat interactions need not results in change in temperature like condensation or evaporation. Okay, the heat given in condensation and evaporation is changing the phase of the system. Liquid transform into vapor or a solid transform into a liquid. In that case, although the heat is consumed, but what happens? But the temperature changes is not known. Okay. Now look at a broader picture of heat versus work. Heat and work are two different ways of transforming energy from one system to the another system. The distinction between heat and work is important in the field of thermodynamics. Heat is the transfer of thermal energy between the system, while work is the transfer of mechanical energy between the two systems. I am repeating once more. The heat is the transfer of thermal energy between the system, while work is the transfer of mechanical energy between the two systems. This distinction between the microscopic motion and macroscopic motion is crucial to how thermodynamic processes work. Heat can be transferred into work and vice versa, but they aren't the same thing. The first law of thermodynamics states that heat and work both can contribute to the total energy system, but the second law, which we haven't heard about that till now, limit the amount of heat that can be transformed into work. Okay, when we go to there is a statement there that no system can be drawn in which the whole amount of the heat can be transformed into work. Okay, so the main difference when we will discuss in after when we got the second law, but the second law allows work to be transforming fully into heat but forbid heats to be totally converted into work. If a heat could be transformed fully into work, it would violate the law of the randomness or entropy. The maximum amount of the work one can attain from the heat is given by the Carnot efficiency. Okay, so remember that a part of the energy or heat given out, it also gives the randomness to the system, and that part cannot give or you can say transform into work. So heat is the energy associated with the random motion of the particle, while work is energy in the order motion in one direction. Therefore, heat is low quality energy while work is a high quality energy. And this support the entropy statement of the second law, which till now we haven't read, but in the coming classes we will going through that. So let's look at the work and heat. They have their own distinct properties. Like in work the interaction is mechanical, in heat the interaction is thermal. In work it requires force and displacement, heat requires temperature difference. Work is a process which involves macroscopic push and pull, while heat is a process which requires microscopic collisions. Work is greater than zero when the gas is compressed, the energy is transferred into the system. Okay, clearly understood now? When W is greater than zero, it means the gas is being compressed. When heat is greater than zero, when the environment is at high temperature, then the system. So energy is transferred into the system. Negative value, when work is less than zero, it means gas undergo expansion. Energy is transferred out of the system. So when heat is less than zero, it means system is at high temperature and then the environment, so the energy is transferred out of the system. Equilibrium, a system is said to be in equilibrium, that is mechanical, when there is no net force or torque on it. But heat is what? A system is in thermal equilibrium when system and surrounding are at the same temperature. Look at the heat once more. Heat is a transfer of thermal energy caused by difference in temperature. This temperature difference is also called temperature gradient. Since heat is a movement of energy, it is measured in the same unit as energy, that is joules. So it should be noted that work and heat are closely related. Heat and temperature are not the same. For explanation, the second law of thermodynamics proves that heat will always form spontaneously from higher temperature to the lower temperature. This energy flow can be harnessed by a heat engine to do useful work. Heat pumps can also force thermal energy to flow backward from cold to hot, but this requires some energy inputs. So how the heat can be transferred? Heat can be transferred through conduction, through convection, and through radiation. So in case of conduction, it occurs between objects that are touching each other. That is, collision between the small particle allow fast moving and vibrating particle to give some of their microscopic kinetic energy to the slower particle. Second, convection is the heat transfer caused by moving fluids. In a fluid, particle can mix together, move faster and spread out, so distributing their thermal energy. Warm air coming from a heating vent to flow around a cool room is an example of the convection. Radiation occur without the movement of the matter. The thermal radiation is made up of electromagnetic waves given off by moving particles. These waves can also be absorbed by materials. Microwave oven work by radiation, and the entire surface of the earth is heated by sun's solar radiation. Okay, heat describes the transfer of thermal energy between molecules within the system and is measured in joules. Heat measures how energy moves or flows. An object can gain heat or lose heat, but it cannot have heat. Okay, I am repeating once more. An object can give heat or can lose heat, but it cannot have heat. Heat is a measure of change never a property possessed by the object or the system. I am repeating once more. That is very, very important. Heat is a measure of change. Not only heat, work is also. Heat and work both are measure of change, never a property possessed by the system. Therefore, it is classified as a process variable. Temperature describes the average kinetic energy of the molecule within a material and is measured in degrees Celsius or in Kelvin or in Fahrenheit scale or in Rankine scale. It is measurable physical property of the object and also known as a state variable. I am repeating once more. Temperature describes the average kinetic energy of the molecule within the material of the system. Heat is transfer of thermal energy caused by difference in temperature between the molecule. Okay, it is like that. Even a cold object can transfer heat to an object which is more colder than it. Similarly, heat is a transfer thermal energy caused by the difference in the temperature between the molecule.